Welcome back to the Worldwide Reds, a global Manchester United podcast. Tonight we're previewing United's big trip to Brentford. We'll cover the latest injuries and suspension news, Mazzarri missing training, Casemiro's red card banned, plus Mount and Cunha returning. We'll debate who should start, where Brentford could cause problems, and of course, give our score predictions. We have tonight Elliot Carpenter, our local man, and we have the man all the way from Atlanta with Stateside Reds, Mickey, Big Mikey. How are you, buddy? And welcome to the land of Oz, I suppose.
Bro, this is unreal. I didn't think when I started doing things like this, I would be talking to people at 7 a.m. about United all the way out in Australia. Thanks for having me. And one question, do you guys really drink Foster's?
No,
No,
definitely not.
definitely
It's
not.
not even, I don't even think it's sold here.
So bad.
So we have got one here called Crown Lager, which is supposed to taste like Foster's. So that's probably about it. But we do not drink Foster's here, no. Very hard to find even in a bar. Yeah. So that's our little thing. How you been, Elliot? All right?
Yeah, good man, good busy week, but it's game week. Early kickoff tomorrow. Thank the gods. Catching a good night's sleep after a game.
Yeah, no. It's good. It's good. We got an early kickoff, 9:30 kickoff here, and we always tell everyone get out to your local supporters club in Australia and even in America. Get out there and support your local club, because there's nothing better than meeting the Reds from your local area and communicating and having a good time with them. So, all right, let's get into it. Okay, there's three of us here. Devon was coming on. He might have had a bit of a sleep in at 7 a.m. over there. So we'll take it away. And if Devon turns up, we'll introduce him to Big Mikey, because we're trying to get them connected, and I think they will work well together in the US, because we certainly love Devon, and now Big Mikey's part of the Aussie crew, which would be fantastic to keep collabing with. It'd be unreal. So Let's go. So United off to a 2-1 win over Chelsea, looking to build some momentum in this game. Brentford strong at home as well, beating United last season 4-3. Hate to bring that up, but you know what? It's an important 3 points. Liverpool, Arsenal, and City all pushing at the top. So how are we going to build on this, boys? Starting with Big Mikey, how are we going to go with this, mate?
So that match, and everybody's like, yo, we played so well. Yes, in spurts, though. Like, we played that first half well. We made them go down to 10. That was us doing that. But, of course, in typical United fashion, we can't make anything easy, and we got to make it nervy. We can never have a comprehensive full game. That doesn't exist under any manager here. So we have to make it nervy. So we go down to 10. Casemiro's second yellow did not look, I don't think there was nothing in it, but because you do the first, the second's always on par, right? You don't leave this in the officiating in England is trash. I think that's a word that's anywhere. The refs are bad. I don't know where they train. But just in general, you don't do that. Sanchez gets sent off. Bruno scores first. Casemiro scores first. I think the game was good. We defended for our lives towards the end. We look resolute. And how good is De Ligt? How good is De Ligt? How good is Mazzarri? How good of a signing is Mazzarri? I mean, the guy's a Swiss Army knife, could play anywhere, and just all around good to have Cunha back. I think it was a good game. I'd like to see more of that, and I'm not a win elitist. However we get it. However we get three, get three. They're talking about 3 points. They're talking about the next 3 games. Means Amarim's job. I don't know how true that is. You know how the media likes to run with these things. But that's 1, 2 left. What say you?
What are your thoughts, Elliot?
I think I agree, mate. I think we deserve to win the last game, definitely. But yeah, in typical United fashion, we just we cleared a goal, and then that last 15, 20 minutes is nervy, whereas you'd rather be pushing for a third goal. But I think moving on to tomorrow, Brentford away, and Wemo against his old club. Is that a good or a bad thing? Surely he's going to rise to the occasion, but it'll be a bit emotional for him because he was their talisman, wouldn't he, for a fair few years. A difficult game away at Brentford. I think they've not got an identity under their new manager yet, which makes them a little bit tricky to set up against. But and they've got some, I guess, new signings who are, also players that are a little bit unknown to the Premier League. Their new striker, he seems to look pretty decent. And then they've got that decent lad that they signed from Bournemouth through the middle. I think they'll. I think it'll be a good game, but I think it'll be an open game, which I think will suit us. But yeah, again, you can never be too confident going into these games.
They're a side that press high a lot too, Brentford.
Yeah.
They're going to press high. They're going to put a lot of pressure on whoever our goalkeeper is, because I would still say that Bindy is going to start. So they're a team that loves set plays as well. So, and look, for United, if we can stay strong defensively in the back with, like you'd say, in Delit, I think we're a good chance, good showing to go out and win this game. Look, we can't go on previous results like a 4-3. I know we copped some set piece goals in that game, and it was such an erratic game, that one. I still remember Amarin come out and saying that we lacked. It was a funny statement, actually. He came out and said that we lacked height. So I don't know how many people, how many players they've replaced there at Brentford, but it's still going to be the same situation. So hopefully we step up tomorrow against them and have a positive impact moving forward in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think them not having Wissa anymore, Wissa and Mbumo, that was one of the most prolific front lines that they've ever had, but as a lot last year, right? So they've lost a lot up front, and we should be able to have the ball a lot. And that could be a good or a bad thing for us. All right, some teams say, "Hey, you guys have the ball and play football," and then we forget how to do that very fast. Then some teams are like, "Okay, well, we'll just break you down when you have it because your midfield too is slow, and you bring your wings up and you play pretty high up, and there's only one ball to be had or somebody fast to just outpace you or go at your back line, especially if you have Maguire in. No offense to Maguire, but he just makes our defense slower. So when they're in, they key in on him and they run past. So it'll be tough. But like I said, 3 points, however you can get it. And it's at the G-Tech, so, there's a little bit of added pressure there.
Yeah, of course. Look, when we're away from home, look, United do struggle away from home. Look, we never had a good record last year away from home. So, and I'm sure this squad's looking to fix that stat up. And I'm not much on stats, but away from home, we've got to do a lot better. I think the last time we ever were good away from home was with Volley when we went undefeated through the season away from home, but we weren't good at home. So hopefully, we'll touch on it a bit later, Bruno and his 100th goal and stuff like that. But, we need Bruno really to step up in this game once again. And, Sesko, look, I want to see Sesko more on the ball. I want to see him getting some good ball from the midfield. And, look, Mbumo's been unreal for us this year, that's for sure. And I think he's just a positive impact. And I'm sure he wants to score against his old club.
Yeah, I think his pace, it helps us out so much, and his work rate. That's the biggest thing about him that goes unsung is his work rate. The guy goes after lost causes a lot, and the press there is not a problem for him. I know we make a big deal about Mason Mount and his ability to press. Mbumo's right there with him. I'd like to see Mason Mount at some point feature in the game. And like you said, Sesko coming back deep to get the ball at times. His hold up is good. The way he could distribute a pass and get into the space is good. But I would love to see him score just to get the monkey off his back, dog. Just to get that first goal. He's seeing Walter Mead and Isak scoring and Etetike and all of them men there are scoring. So it'd be good to see Mbumo and Sesko to get his first. I'd like to see Cunha get one too, being at the rate he was at last season.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I asked Elliot to do a predicted lineup, so I'll throw that up. And
Okay.
unfortunately, for us, the press conference is in another couple of hours. For us, it's at 11:30 p.m. And usually we like to do these after the press conference and stuff like that. So, but I've got Elliot's. Just take away that banner. I've got Elliot's predicted lineup, and then he's got a lineup that he thinks that will happen. Is that correct, Elliot? I'll let you take it away.
So the predicted lineup, yeah, that's who I think the manager's going to pick.
Yeah.
But in the lineup below, I've also put who I'd pick, I guess, who I'd play.
Yeah.
So I think I'd be surprised if the manager changes Maguire and brings Yoro back in. I think that that back line worked positively against Chelsea, and I think Delip played well on that right-sided centre back. And then I think if Mazraoui is fit, then Ahmad will play with Mbeumo, because I'm assuming that Cunha and Mount are still probably not match fit, and probably feature off the bench for maybe half an hour. I think it's a relatively unchanged team with Agate coming in for the suspended Casemiro. But I guess below, I'm not sure if Martinez is quite game ready, but I'm super keen to see the Butcher back in the starting 11 and come in place of Shaw. The sooner the better. And personally, I think, understanding that Cunha and Mount are still not fit, and we've called for it a few times, but I think, we need to get Manu into the team, and Manu starting alongside Ugarte and Fernandez higher up next to Mbeumo would be probably what I would play with the players that are available and fit, match fit. But yeah, I guess we'll see. It's I still think the manager's figuring out his best 11. And I don't think he's going to know that for some time now, but I think going into sort of like your busy fixture period of December, he needs to have a really good idea who he's going to play and start actually sort of to gain momentum, playing that same 11 week in, week out. Really, we've got no excuse not to, because we don't have many fixtures this season. So, I guess we'll see. What are your boys' thoughts?
Yeah, look, I wasn't sure on the story about Mazawari not being at training midweek, and they called in the young fella to come in and run the right side of the pitch. There is talk that that he has injured, he has a muscular problem,
Right.
which is a damn shame, because I love watching him play. He's so good. That right-hand side's starting to become a problem, I think. Like, Delot's out now. If Mazarawi's out, then he's out. So I think we're going to be looking maybe to our resis or, our under-18s to bring in a right back or right wing back or something like that. I'm not sure how he's going to work it there. But, yeah, hopefully he's okay, and, we can move in. Yeah, Casey Gale says there is a rumour Mazarari is injured. So it'll be definitely interesting on that right side. You got Ahmed there, and I thought he was working well last week again. Sorry, Elliot?
He'll drop Ahmed to right wing back if Mazraoui ain't fit, and then you might see maybe someone like Mount and Cunha start and maybe play an hour and start the game.
Yeah,
maybe.
We've got Swapnil. He wants to see Cunha, Sesko, Mataba, Mbeumo up front. Also don't want to see Bruno in a deep role. My dilemma continues. I think that's everyone's dilemma, buddy.
Yeah, we're all having that one. I get that for sure.
Yeah, definitely get that one. I don't want to see Bruno in a deeper role. That's for sure. I want to see him feeding Sesko. It's such a big thing. We talk about this option fair bit on this pod about Bruno playing a bit higher, but you know what? The manager wants to see him more on the ball, and I've got the opinion of if he picks it up deeper, he's got to make his way forward to play that ball into Sesko or even into Mbeumo. I'd rather see him get it fed out from the 6 into the 10 role and then play across the pitch there. So, like he was playing a few years ago. What are your thoughts, Big Mikey?
Yeah, Bruno's best. I mean, I was talking to during the tour when they came here, I got a chance to talk to Flex from United View, and he had later on said this on his show that he thought that Bruno would be the main scapegoat for what's going on, and he's not going to be as effective because he's playing away from goal. Right? Bruno's best attribute is being nearest to goal. That's why he's always in double for assisting goals. Like he needs to be closer to it. And then his positioning sense, right? He's a little rogue with positioning. He could be anywhere, right? So now that you're in this 2, you have to be a little bit more resolute and like playing with the next man and talking to him and like knowing when to join an attack and come back. I like the first lineup a lot. The only thing I would say is I would love to see our new keeper, man. I would love to see our new keeper at some point. And apparently he's not tearing. Apparently they say he's tearing it up because they called him the Iron Dome or something like that. So apparently he's tearing it up or whatever the case may be. So like, why can't we see this guy yet? Love the first lineup. I'm okay with the second. Martinez maybe a little early for me. I'd like to wait a little bit longer on him with his history, his injury record. But yeah, Bruno needs to be closer. And all in all, like, it's, we talk about lineups. I know we do it on our show a lot. We talk about lineups and what we want to see and all this other stuff. Is anybody here okay with the midfield too as is?
First of all, I'll introduce Devon. Welcome to the pod. You had a little bit of a sleep in, or you're having a coffee or a tea. I don't blame you. It's 7 a.m. Big Mikey, Devon.
It's crazy I meet them before you, and you're only one state over from me.
Yeah, I finally get to be on a show with the man, the myth, the legend. I mean, we've been talking about this for years now. 7 a.m. right now. I don't care. No excuses for me showing up late. So that's unprofessional on my part, and I apologize.
Do you get the nickname Rashford? Sorry.
Do what? Yeah, gotta go be bench for the first half, right?
Pretend it's a flight, bro. Pretend it's a flight. You know what I'm saying?
But first off, let me say that Dwight York shirt behind you, I love it. So yeah, man. He's the reason I'm a Man United fan. So anytime I see anything like that, yeah.
Same. My family's from Trinidad and Tobago. I grew up watching Dwight York and Stern John and all of them playing, just them being able to play in the Premier League in general. But grandfather's a big, and my wife like tracked him down and got this shirt signed from him. So yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah. I actually just really helped out with getting Trinidad established as an official supporters club. So that was amazing as well too. That's so now trying to work on the next couple islands as well.
That's sick. Love that.
But yeah, going to your question now with the midfield. How many years are we going to have this conundrum about our midfield? And I will flat out say it like this. Letting Kobbie Mainoo leave will be one of the biggest mistakes that we make in a long time, to put the faith in a 31-year-old. It will be like losing. Actually, it'll be worse than losing Alvaro Fernandez or Alvaro Caceres again now. It'll be worse than that. And you see what he's doing at Real Madrid right now. We cannot let that happen. We need to let Kobbie get some minutes, and you have to start slowly phasing Bruno out of there, in my opinion.
I agree with that. But there's a question though, right? There's a question like, can Mainoo play in the 2? Can he cover the ground? Like, I think he can, but he's not getting much of a run out now, right? Like
that's the problem.
Yeah, it's like we can't see if he could. It's not competing if you're not dropping Bruno, right? You finally dropped Bruno and gave him 9 minutes last week. What's that?
So I'll use another example right now. Scott McTominay.
Oof.
When was he ever played in his position where he's thriving out at Napoli? No, he played in the pivot in the McFred that we all always criticize right now.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because when he got his few opportunities to play up top, he actually played brilliant for us. And he was sold for FFP purposes right now, and he just became Serie A Player of the Year.
Yeah, definitely.
We can see this again now. It's almost like history is going to repeat itself with Kobe if something is not done. And at the same time, how can we criticize Kobe then if he gets one game every 8-9 matches, whatever it is, and he doesn't have any time to build up any match sharpness?
Yeah, look, it's a massive thing at the moment because we're not in Europe and we don't have a lot of games. I think Kobe's going to be the one that's going to suffer for it, which is a total shame. Yeah, it's something I sort of don't want to discuss all the time, but I think it's a major issue. He needs to find Kobe some room in that side, and if Bruno does have a poor game, as much as he's captain, he needs to be benched. And he needs to give Mainu that chance to excel, and especially when we don't have too many academy players coming through under Amarin at the moment. As a United fan, I want that trend to continue, and it's a big thing for me.
I think.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, mate. I think it's who he plays with. Like maybe that combination of Kobe with Casemiro or Kobe with Ugarte is the problem as well. But he wants that one more defensive-minded player and one who is a box-to-box. And maybe it's the pair and not necessarily the individual. Perhaps, I guess, is how I see it. But you got to look at. Kobe's going to want to get away to get into the the World Cup squad.
Correct.
And the only way that I could see Kobe Mainu at the moment getting into our starting 11 is if Bruno Fernandes gets injured, and Bruno Fernandes just does not get injured. He's always fit. He doesn't miss a game due to injury. So you can see in Mainu's body language when you see him around training, when you see him in interviews and stuff like that. I know he's a pretty calm, chill out guy anyway, but you can just tell with body language that he's not happy.
I'm going to bring this up from Casey. He makes a great point. I'd rather see Kobe play and develop than see Casemiro's legs die or see Ugarte look lost. It's a great point. I tend to agree with you. Casemiro, look, he's suspended this weekend, and for one match, and it's whether he can play that. Kobe, memory blank. Whether Kobe can play that 6 role. I want to see him in the 8 role. I don't want to see him playing as 6. So
correct.
As Elliot said, it's that combination that you got to look out for. So he's got some big decisions to make, the manager, and that's why he's paid the big dollars. So I think the side's developing well, and it's a tough one. Look, I'm going to go back to Tom up the top here. Tom came out, we're talking about the right-hand side, and Tom's gone, I don't mind seeing Dalot come in on the right if Mazzuari is out. The problem I think, Tom, is Dalot's still out. So I think
he's still injured, isn't he?
He's still injured, I think, yeah. So, but, yeah, totally agree with it, mate. If both of them are out, then that right-hand side becomes an issue. Who are we going to bring in? That's the big one there. So, yeah. And congratulations to McTominay, 18th on the Ballon d'Or too. So, by the way, Yanni's put in.
Unreal.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Devon, you're saying?
Well deserved.
Yeah.
I wish Scotty nothing but the best. He was as I alluded to before, it seems like that is the prequel to Kobe Mainu. Because everything is happening again. That happened to McTominay is happening to him. You brought it up as well too. We have over 80 years of an academy player being in the squad, and that is in serious danger right now. especially if Kobe does leave in January, even just on loan, we are going to be in so much trouble. It's not even funny. It almost reminds me of our right back situation. I go back to Alvaro Fernandez, where we sat there, we let him go. We didn't think he was good enough. You bring in Region or whatever as cover. You say, okay, he goes back, and then all of a sudden Shaw gets injured again. I can't remember who else it was as well too. I could see that same thing happening with our midfield. We let Kobe go. Casemiro gets another stupid red card. And I'm not blaming him for that red card either. But we just know the refs love to send him off. And Kobe's going to sit there. The talk I'm hearing is Barcelona wants him on loan as cover for Gavi. And so he goes there. Then he thrives in his position, gets into the England squad. And then all of a sudden he doesn't want to come back, because he knows as long as Bruno's here that he's not going to get a play. Yeah. So then you get maybe 2-3 more years, if that, of Bruno. And then you go down the line, you say, now we need to find a replacement for him when we had Kobe waiting this whole time and we just didn't let him in. And we're all saying it, but we're not seeing anything done about it, is where my issue comes in.
I still think Bruno goes at the end of the season. I still think he goes at the end of the season. From how I see it.
How much time is on his contract left? I can't remember.
I think he's got a year after this season, and I think we sell him before the end of June, so that the sale counts in this season's PSR constraints, and we sell him to a Saudi club before the end of June, and then he goes away and plays the World Cup with Portugal, and we still get a decent sale, which counts towards our profit and loss under PSR for this. Maybe that's how I see it happening, but I'm not sure.
You really believe Bruno will play one more season and that'll be it? I can't see Bruno leaving.
I don't see it. I
don't see it. I just think he's in my opinion, as much as I have my ups and downs with Bruno, I just think he's loyal to Manchester United. I just cannot see him. I know we think there was an offer for him, but nothing was actually confirmed for starters. And I know there's a lot of clubs that would be after him. They'd be mad not to come and get him. But I don't know. I just don't think he'll go. I just think he might retire at United. He's just one of those players that I think are very loyal to a club. I mean, I could be wrong, but he just doesn't seem to budge for mine.
He's 31.
I think he's done all he can do here. As far as he's given us the best years, he's given us the best prime of his life. And if he wants to go and make a money move, or wants to play someplace else, that maybe like a Germany, he goes to like a Bayern, or something like that, someplace where he could be serviceable still, and maybe in a less physical league, and still get Champions League football, still be in the decent side. I think he does that, as opposed to, because he also gets a lot from the pundits, the ex-legends, and I think
not all of them are legends, brother.
Yeah, right. But like some of the bigger ones, he gets it from them, right, all the time. So he would. I think, yeah, he would love to just be someplace else. That I think it's just done for him. I think he's really just hanging on, trying to get a Champions League football this season, and then he'll be gone next season. And nobody can be mad at him for that.
I wouldn't begrudge him leaving. Definitely not. Not. He's worked hard and he's worked tireless for United, and he's 100 goals is no mean feat, man. It's unbelievable. It's and
at the midfield position.
Out of the midfield, yeah, correct. And it's such congratulations to him. We'll touch on it at the end of the podcast. But moving into Cunha, Mountain Cunha look like they're back. I think Cunha will be a massive difference if he starts. I'm a bit up and down with Mount. I know he puts on that high pressure and things like that, but I think Cunha, if he came back into the team and started, he'd be a massive thing for United. What do you think?
Yeah, his ability to play around the press, right? Press resistant dude. We play him on that left hand, so he's already in the front foot for offense. But the guy will come back deep and play the ball around effectively and fast, and that's what I like about him. He'll get the ball, one touch, turn, go, get back on the ball, and play other people into space, right? And he's working off that. If we can get Mbumo back on that right 10, that'd be good, right? I like Cunha. I would love to see him score to get that monkey off his back as well, get him back to where he needs to be. Mason Mount, for me, I've been up and down with too. I've been one of his biggest critical, I've been on his back. I'm not gonna lie. But I think him coming off the bench will be a good thing for our depth, and if he can stay healthy. The health thing has just been the biggest issue. Not that he can't play, it's health. We've seen him score 3 or 2 goals in the Europa League, and the guy shows he shows his quality. It's a matter of him staying healthy, and I just don't know what it is with him and health. But yeah, Cunha coming back is detrimental to our success going forward, 100%.
The hard thing with Mason Mount as well is the price tag that we paid for him.
Yeah,
With someone with an unhealthy track record, he's now got that on his shoulders as well. About we certainly overpaid for him. He was a Ten Hag panic buy in my opinion, but and he's not really had a clean bill of health really since he's come to us. Since this is third season.
Yep.
Third season, yeah, and he's still got fitness problems. He's 3 games into the season, and he's already had a niggle. So it's just a bit, yeah. I agree with the depth, though. He's an option off the bench, isn't he? He's a good option to have on the bench. He's quite versatile in his game. You can play him as a false 9 if you really wanted to, but I think that depth in those 2-10 positions is good to have. So.
I feel like you gotta pick and choose which matches that you play him. What I think that every manager I hear from Mason Mount, why they like to play him so much, is because he will sit there and he will do every single thing that the manager asks of him, no questions, whatever, and go in and put in the shift. And so when the manager finds that player who is dependable like that, you want to play him. But the problem goes in with our squad depth right now and I'll just call it fragility. Because you realize you only get X amount of matches out of him before he goes down. So maybe you play him once every 3 matches, you save him for a specific match. If you'll remember, Sir Alex used to do that a lot with some players as well and be like, okay, we don't have you for this match, but you will be playing in this match 2-3 weeks from now, whatever it is. You make sure that you're ready for you come in, you put in a shift. I feel like you may have to start doing that with Mason Mount as well, because he is a good player when he's fit. He is a good option to have when he's fit.
Yeah, look, if the part that worries me, if Mount starts and Mount and Cunha start, does Sesko get dropped? That's what worries me a hell of a lot. I want to see Sesko play, mate. I want to see him scoring. We didn't go and drop Højlund because he wasn't scoring. Is this going to be another situation where Sesko's nearly exactly the same player as Højlund? It becomes a seasonal trend after a while. So that's what worries me with Amrin. Because he loves Mount that much, he may drop Sesko, and then next thing Sesko's got the shits with the team, and it just these are big calls by Amrin coming into the next few games. Especially when Mount and Cunha are back into the team.
The thing with the Sesko. The thing with the Sesko situation that bothers me is that it's a cycle, right? What we do is sign striker. Striker comes in. Striker might have good season, might not. We start questioning striker. Striker doesn't get service. We start questioning him more, and then we go get another striker and move on from the one we had, right? We just did it with our 21 or 23-year-old, right? And we went and bought a 6'5" version of him, a 6'5" faster, more physical version of him. right? At what point do we start saying, hey, we might need to start playing it to our striker a lot more and giving him the actual service? Because when Lukaku was here, I remember Lukaku, we know Lukaku and his faults at the time may be his fault or not, but Lukaku scored 27 goals in the calendar year for Man United in all competitions, right? With no service. He had to get it out the mud. He was literally living on scraps at that time, right? Same deal with
pretty good.
Same deal with Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund comes in, I think he scored like 16 or something in all comps his first year. Comes in second year, not producing. We sign a Xerxes. Xerxes, are you a 9? Are you a 10? Are you a 9.5? What do you do? Oh, turns out you're a 10. Cool. Well, you're not going to replace this guy. We'll actually go buy a $70 million version of you that's 6'5", and we still give him no service. And now we're starting to look at him 5 games in. I'm not, but like a lot of fan base looking at him like, and then rival fans, which mounts the pressure, looking at him like, oh, well, is this guy a bust? Too early to tell. But if we don't get these guys, if we don't play it central and we keep trying to just, loop it in there. He's 6'5", he'll get it. Good. I'm okay with the crosses. Nobody's on the end of the crosses. We're not getting the ball to him in central positions to where we can use his pace. So he could break down backlines. We can use his physicality, and he could be a target man, get it at his feet and do something. Maybe turn a man. Maybe get it on the half turn and turn a man. We're not doing any of those things, and that's worrying. And that's all. The striker is a rhythm position, bro. You have to have rhythm. You have to be able to get the ball a bunch of times. And we're not doing that at all. It's scary.
No, I totally agree with you, mate. That front line, I watched Sesko making some moves and stuff like that, and I hope they're working on it at training, to be honest with you. It's easy to do it at training when you've got a midfield that's got no pressure on them and stuff like that, slide players in behind and everything like that. But when you see, it's scary when your 9 is making good runs and they don't receive the ball, or over the last few weeks, Tom, who's been on our podcast a few times, he made a great point where we started playing the long ball a lot more because he's taller, or, when we're behind, we go and throw Harry Maguire up front just so we can get a goal and shit like that. It drives me crazy. I'm actually getting rolled up just thinking about what you were just saying then. I don't want to see it. I want to see our midfield working with our front line. I want to see our midfield putting our 9 in behind and our 9 finishing off. Look, in a perfect world, that's how United used to play, but we lack so much in that front section of that midfield. Sometimes we rotate the ball again when there's no need to, and things like that. We don't have a midfield player coming back. And I know we harp on about the midfield all the time, but 2 basic things in a midfield is a midfielder coming to receive the ball and a midfielder in that 10 position sliding the ball through, even from the 8. Like, it's 2 basic points in football that we never see out of United, especially this year.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's 2 positive things I've seen out of Sesko's play that sort of improved since he's sort of come into the team. And he has come. We haven't integrated him straight away either. There was a lot of he's coming to find the ball, link up with the 10s, and knock the ball back and receive it. But what I also like is that when Mbeumo's got the ball and he's looking for a cross in the box, he's looking for Sesko. He's looking for him. He's looking to find his head. He's looking to find him and give him a ball into the box, which is good. So you'd hope, like you said, Adam, that they're building on that in training and they're finding those combinations in training and working on that so that they can put it into place, I guess, during the game. I guess probably what hasn't helped Sesko's situation about the service that he's getting is that there's been inconsistencies in the players that have played in behind him due to injuries, due to the combinations being different and things like that. And it goes back to probably what I've said sort of earlier on the podcast. The sooner the manager finds his starting 11 and sticks to it, and we start putting some results together and consistently starting that same team week in, week out, which we should be because our fixture list is small, then that's when players like Sesko can get momentum. They can start scoring goals, and then as a striker, if you're confident and you're scoring goals, then that's the best place to be because the goals will keep coming. You look at, and I hate to compare him with Haaland, but he's got that similar stature of as a striker. Haaland's start to this season wasn't ideal. and he got one snuff of goal in game 2. And look at him. Look at him, man. He's just gone from here to here in 1 or 2 games, and now he's back. I've triple capped him in my fantasy team this week because he's just going up and up because he's playing off confidence, and that's what our team needs to do for Sesko is give him the ball more in goal scoring positions and give him the opportunity to score a goal and help build his confidence as a team as well as himself, in my opinion.
And Pep understands with Holland that, like, this guy is not a complete footballer, right? He needs to be in front of the goal, in the box, running at defenders, and like 90% of the times he's going to get there. We don't prioritize that with our strikers now, right? We don't get them into advantageous positions to be on running at defenders, right? Even when they have the worst, it can be any defender. When I talk about Mickey Van de Ven that can run you down, maybe Jamal Sales or something like that, we still won't get you in positions to where you could run at a guy like that and make things happen in the box. It just, we don't prioritize, and it's weird. It's weird, and it's a trend now. It's a trend. I know we want to play on the wings, but sometimes let a guy run at the back line and let's just see what happens. And also, when Mbeumo does have the opportunity to cross, what do? We don't have enough players in the box to even make it an option so that things could happen. Good things happen when you put it in the box. It's like it's a lottery at that point. But like it's Sesko and maybe the left 10, whoever it is at that time, maybe making that run in. We can't really expend too many midfielders at that point because then we'll be a mismatch going backwards. It's tough, man. It's tough. I love them. I won't say I love the manager. I'm not in or out on the manager. I'm not a fan of like the system right now, but I'm backing him. Ineos is backing him. I'm backing him. He's our manager, so I'm not going to slide him. But I just don't understand. I haven't seen this system work for more than a game at a time.
This is my point about United when you made a point about we're not putting enough crosses in and things like that, but my point about recycling the ball, it drives me crazy. It dead set drives me crazy. We get into such a good position to maybe get to the byline, cut a ball back, or we get square of the box to whip a cross in or something like that, and we simply just turn back and recycle the ball again. And like our most non-creative players are in the back line. That's just the way football is. And you try and, as we move down the pitch, you try and get your 6, 8, and 10 to get close to the edge of the box, and they get near it, but again, they don't want to receive the ball and create something. It just the closer they get to the box, the narrower it gets, and it just becomes a shit show once again. Sorry, yeah. Anyways,
Agreed. There's a nail in the coffin there. You said it all there.
Yeah.
There's a highlight for the show to clip, right?
Yeah. Look, we're 43 minutes in. I think we've been quite positive about United. I think United's going to go all right this weekend, to be honest with you. I want to bring it back a bit.
I feel good.
Before we go, I want to show you the next 6 games that we've got. So, look, I think we're going to go. I think all in all, we agree we should go all right at Brentford. So, I think we'll go into the next 6 games for United. It's quite scary for United. We've had a tough start as it is, but we've got Brentford, Sunderland, Liverpool, Brighton, Forest, and then Tottenham. 4 out of the 6 teams there. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough 6 games. I'd be happy if.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first 2, I think we will be decent about. For some reason, we always do not play well against Brighton. Forest, I know with everything that happened with Nuno, that they're still a good side. And then obviously Tottenham, I don't know where this start has come from them, but they started off really hot. They kind of slipped up last week, but Thomas Frank is a good manager, and that's why he got snapped up from Brentford. So I worry about that one. But these first two, if we don't get 6 points from these next two matches, we're going to be in serious trouble going into those next four.
Yeah, 100%. Look, Yanni makes a great point here. If when we play against Forest, Ange Kostakoglu, the Aussie boy, beat us 4 times last season, and he definitely knows how to play United, and he knows how to play against Amarin. So Forest is going to be a tough one. Tottenham's always a tough game, and the Scousers is just they are red hot. They are a quality team, and the last thing I want to do is sit here and give them raps, but far out they play some good football, and we need to put on something
run
special.
Out, mate. Their luck's going to
I-
run out.
I totally agree.
They can't. They're not going to be able to keep winning games in the last sort of 5-10 minutes of every game this season, because that's sort of the trend that they've got, But yeah, I don't know. I think the Liverpool train is it's going to become very unsteady. They've got some big personalities in there. They've made some big signings. You see that young lad Ekitike got sent off during the week. He's celebrating. He's pointing to his name on his jersey. I'm the main man at Liverpool, not this guy that you've just spent 120 million pounds on, who's also still not fit. If Liverpool, I'll be very surprised if they don't. If that train doesn't come in, off the rails, sort of come November, December time, running into Christmas. I think probably the thing to point out in those 6 fixtures, or 5 if you don't include the one tomorrow, 3 out of 5 of those teams are playing European football. So, we've got to try and look at that from a positive perspective, and we should be fitter. We should have momentum. We should be confident, and we should be having that from, I guess, rinse and repeat in our same starting 11 each week if we're building the momentum. Forest haven't had a good start under their new manager. They've not won a game yet. So it'd be interesting to see how that looks at Forest. Obviously, Liverpool away is always tough. And then the other probably tough game is Spurs away. But I think, we beat Brentford tomorrow. We go to Old Trafford before the international break. Another international break, by the way. So sick of them. We beat Sunderland at home, and then all of a sudden, then we can, the players who are not going away on international duties can really focus on probably some intensive training, whether they go overseas somewhere in Europe, and again build on that momentum, and then straight back after the international break, we play Liverpool away, and we're up for it. So. I think where our points are on the table after playing Chelsea, after playing Man City and Arsenal, and we're sitting on 7 points in the league. I don't think that's too bad. I'm not sure if you fellas feel the same way, but I think, could have been a lot worse.
It's funny you say that, because everybody wants to harp on this horrible start that we've had as Manchester United. What they don't bring up is that we have had the toughest schedule so far. And with that being said, we're still only 3 points off top 4. And we've also created the most chances as well. So once we start putting those away, and once we get through this little rut that, like this tough part of the schedule, we need to capitalize on this. And this goes into my fear with this side is the only thing this side is consistent about is being inconsistent. And so it's easy to show up for these, quote, top 6 teams, or whatever it is. But when you have these other teams, like, for example, Burnley's playing some great football right now. I know we barely scrape by to beat them, but they're very defensive minded. So you have teams like that, and they know that these players know this is their opportunity where they're going to get a huge audience more than they normally get to see. They know they're playing. Maybe they want to move to another club, or they're playing for pride, whatever. But the Manchester United player just showed like, oh, it's just another game. It's only Burnley. It doesn't matter. We can just show up and just do whatever. No, you got to step up. You got to have the same preparation you had for Arsenal, for Sunderland as well, coming up.
Absolutely.
And so as long as the players can keep that mentality, I think we'll be okay. But I need to see results to put my mind at ease because I still think they're consistently inconsistent.
Definitely, totally agree with you. Look, we're going to have to try and wind up the show because Big Mikey's got to drop his son off at the bus stop and everything like that. We've got to actually go live a life but to end the show, I want to end it on a massive positive for our captain Bruno Fernandes. It's no mean feat to score 100 goals for Manchester United, and as much as I'm a little bit up and down with Bruno, 100 goals is amazing. People talk about club legends and things like that, and I don't know if he's at that stage yet to say he's a club legend. I'm not sure. That's for everyone to make their own judgment about that. I just think it's a great achievement for him because I know he tries and we always have the ups and downs about him. Big games, he never turns up and things like that. And, he's got his massive criticisms out there and everything like that. But to you boys, and I know I've got a favourite goal, to you guys, what's your favourite goal if you have one? Burnley. I know there's 100 of them. It's a tough one.
Burnley 23-24 season. The ball comes over the top and into the 6-yard box, over his shoulder, on the volley, cross goal. Great finish.
Yeah, absolute quality.
Yeah.
I want to say the one where I think it was when they were trying to claim that Marcus Rashford was offside against City, and he laces it from the corner. It goes in. It might have been like I think about 25 yards out, where they're trying to say that Marcus Rashford was offside. He scored it. There's so many. But I also want to say, where would we be without those 100 goals?
Carried us last year.
Where would we be?
I could definitely turn that into something else right now because a certain player has left our club on loan and he's literally only 3 goals away from Cristiano Ronaldo. And but I won't go into that. We could leave that one for another one. But Devin, you got a favourite goal?
I don't have a favorite goal. I have a favorite match. Because it was so hard for me to figure this one out. But do you all remember the first match? I think it was 2021, 2022, Leeds, when he scored the hat trick.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And we thought we were going to be onto something so good, like Pogba. I think Pogba had 5 assists in the game or something like that as well. Like it was just like it was Varane comes out center pitch, like everything announcing himself, and we go out there and we just absolutely battered Leeds. So like that's the one that stands out for me the most.
We used to give it to them since they came up. We gave it to them 6 times. We haven't lost to them since they came up the first time. I love playing Leeds.
I'm going to give you my one. My one was away at Everton, and I actually thought I'd be a bit smart and get the clip up. I'll see if we can get it playing here. What are we in reverse? Let me see if I can get it up. Add to stage. See if it comes up. He's got his Evertonian fans right there, and so that's my favourite one from 2019 and 2019, 20. What do you call it? Season. I just love the way he just lets that ball fade past him, and then he just takes that one hit, and it just goes past him. Look, guys, we've had a lot of people in the chat. So if you're still watching, go and hit the like button for us. Please subscribe to both channels. Atlanta, what is it? Sorry, Mikey.
Yeah, Stateside Reds. Make sure you get over to Worldwide Reds, Stateside Reds. We'll be doing a lot more work together.
100%, man. I've enjoyed every minute of it, and it's good to connect with Reds all around the world. I really wanted to get Devin and Big Mikey together. So that was one thing Mikey and I spoke about. I said, yeah, I'm good mates with Devin. We'll see if we can get him on. and we've made it happen. And that's what this pod's all about, connecting people around the world. And I'm sure now these two guys are going to have a great future together, connecting Reds all around the States. And we know Devon gets to Old Trafford a bit, and Big Mikey. Me and him have already spoken about the 70th anniversary in Munich. Both of us will probably catch up over there, and that's in a couple of years' time. So definitely one big thing that – sorry, Devon?
I'll just say before you go, like I can tell you this from experience. As everyone knows, I love to travel. Been doing it since I was a little kid, since I was living in New York and Barbados and Florida, all these different places, including my time in the United States Marine Corps. Yep. The one thing that I would always stay consistent was no matter where in the world I went, I always found a Manchester United fan.
Yep.
That means I have a friend 100%. Anywhere in the world that I go. Why do you think like worldwide Reds? I love everything behind it because I've experienced. I can tell you firsthand, it's true.
100%, man. I love traveling. I'm the same. I've always traveled my whole life. I've been fortunate enough to be a lot of places, and look, I've been to Old Trafford a fair few times, but I also love watching them play in different countries as well. There's nothing better than messaging a supporters club and hanging out with them, learning their cultures, and attempting to speak their language. And there's nothing better about it. There's nothing better. I've been to the States a few times as well, and at the times I never really connected with Americans through Manchester United. But let me tell you, on my next trip, I'll be going to a few states and I'll be having a fair few drinks. That's for sure.
Come on down. We'd love to have you down here in the Dirty South.
It's amazing because you see like all these people, all different types of backgrounds, race, religion, gender, you name it, all of it. And we all come together for one big cause. Like you sit there and I'm mates with people that I never probably would have gotten to speak to if it was not for Manchester United. Nope. Like I have good mates in like all over the place, all different ages. And it's amazing to me. It's one big melting pot.
It is, mate. It is. And I think Big Mikey's going to be running late for that bus. So
yeah, I'm going to see you guys. I'm going to see. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, by the way. H Hammer. Yeah, that's where I'm at. And I'm going to actually get out of here, run and take my daughter to the bus stop. I hope to see you guys after the game. Maybe we could wrap up then. And it's been a pleasure. It's been great. It's like this is everything I love doing with the club. So Devin, good to meet you. Elliot, Adam. We'll talk soon. All right, y'all have a blessed one.
Cheers, mate. Yeah,
we'll be in touch.
Up the Socceroos.
Love that.
All right, boys. We'll end it there. Please, everyone, go like, share, subscribe. We're doing our best here. We're trying to entertain you as well as bring you Manchester United news. But we'll be back. We're going to be live straight after the game, aren't we, Elliot? You're going to the Brisbane Supporters Club.
I'm down at the Pig and Whistle at the Supporters Club tomorrow, with the boys down the Brizzy.
Yeah.
What time is that kickoff for you guys? Is it today for you guys or tomorrow?
9:30 p.m.
Okay.
Great time.
So that's not bad. It's pretty good. So, but
that's a perfect time for you guys as well, yeah.
Yeah. So the ones after that are 2 a.m., 1:30 a.m., so we're getting lucky. Actually, I think the Southampton game is midnight, I think so. But after that, we're in trouble. But
as soon as the clocks change, it gets a bit hairy.
Yeah.
So it'll be a 7:30 a.m. kickoff for us here, but we're thankful that our local here, they will open up for us. So nothing like having a Guinness for breakfast, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, like if we have a 7 a.m. game, which is usually a cup game or something like that, Scruffy Murphy's, they'll open for us as well. And so get down to, that's us as well, get down to Scruffy Murphy's. And I won't be there because I'll have a packed house in here. I've got my daughter's futsal on all day tomorrow. So Devin, thank you again. Elliot, thank you again. We will be back live after the game on Saturday night. So we're going to do our best to break it down and hopefully we come away with 3 points. So I'll talk to you later.
3-1.
See you later.
United.
Have a good one, guys.
See you, mate. Thank you.